It's 10:37 p.m. Your room is dark and your banking app says you have $43 left. Then an email pops up. Final notice, $118 due. One bill, just one. And suddenly, your chest is tight, your thoughts are racing, and it feels like your whole month is falling apart. If you earn a small or average income and you often feel one bill away from disaster, this video is for you. Because we're not talking about getting rich overnight. We're talking about how to stop that constant money panic with something very simple and very real. Most people think their problem is, I'm bad with money. But look at the numbers. In many countries, around half of adults couldn't cover a $400 surprise bill without borrowing or selling something. Your stress isn't a character flaw. It's what happens when a $150 or $300 problem can knock over your entire month. This is Wealth Mentor Pro, where every lesson is a step closer to your freedom. In this episode, we're going to stay with one clear idea. Stop money panic with a $500 safety fund, not a full 6-month emergency fund, not start trading stocks. Just the first $300 to $500 that turns constant crisis into something your brain can finally handle. And the surprising part is, most advice you hear completely skips this stage. Think of your money like a dark road. A lot of people point at the distant city lights called financial freedom or early investing, but your real problem is the hole right in front of your feet. That hole is a $180 bill, a $230 repair, a $95 fee. You're not secretly asking, how do I become rich? You're asking, how do I stop one small surprise from wrecking my whole month when I earn $1,800 or $2,500? So let's make this real. Maria earns $2,000 a month after tax. Her rent is $900. Utilities and phone, $170. Groceries, $300. Transport, $150. Minimum debt payments, $150. The rest disappears into the usual, I don't even know where it went spending. She has no savings. If her car needs a $260 repair, she puts it on a card or borrows from family or pays one bill late and gets hit with fees. She feels like everything is chaos. But it's not chaos. It's a system that automatically resets her to zero every time life sneezes. Here's something simple you can do today. Think of the last 3 annoying but not catastrophic bills you faced. The dentist, the school trip, the delivery you had to redo, that small emergency. Add them up. For most people on low and middle incomes, that number lands somewhere between $200 and $600. That number is the size of the hole in front of you. That's what keeps dragging you back. If you ignore that hole, every time life hits that amount again, your stress, your sleep, and your progress all get wiped like they never happened. Now picture the same road, but with a small bridge over that hole. That bridge is your safety fund, your buffer. Most high-energy money videos jump straight to build a 3 to 6 month emergency fund or start investing every spare dollar. That's like telling someone who never swims to start planning a cruise. For people earning $1,500 to $3,000 a month, the first $300 to $500 you save usually changes your life more than any app, budget template, or investing tutorial. So what does a $500 safety fund actually do? Imagine Jamal. He earns $2,200 a month. He decides to move $25 a week into a separate buffer space, even though that feels small. That's $100 a month. In 5 months, he's at $500. Now when the $260 car repair shows up, he doesn't go into overdraft and pay a $35 fee. He doesn't panic text 3 friends. He doesn't choose between rent and gas. He takes $260 from his buffer, still has $240 left, and refills it over the next few weeks. The problem didn't disappear, but the emergency did. A practical step for you. Open one separate place for this buffer. A second account, a simple savings space, even a digital envelope. Give it a clear name like Safety or Calm. This is not a holiday fund and not a shopping fund. It is your shock absorber. If you don't do this, every small problem gets treated like a disaster and your brain never gets to relax. Here's another honest thing. Many videos about freedom funds and emergency funds are made by people who either earn a lot or talk as if you can suddenly save $1,000 a month by cutting back. They don't usually talk about someone on $1,600, $2,100, or $2,800 who can maybe spare $30 or $60. They also rarely explain why the first $300 matters more to your stress than the jump from $5,000 to $10,000 matters for a high earner. That's exactly the gap we're filling right now. Let's slow the journey from nothing to $500 down even more. Think of walking down a path and marking the first street light. For your buffer, that first street light is not $500, it's $50. If you earn $2,000 a month and you move $15 each week, you hit $60 in a month. That's already enough to cover a delivery mistake, a pharmacy run, or a small fee without touching debt. It's fragile, but it's not zero. So pick one small amount you can move automatically every week. $10, $15, $25. Set it up one time and let it run. If that means staying in 3 nights a month instead of 1, that's a trade most future versions of you will be grateful for. If you skip this and try to go straight from nothing to big goals, you'll notice something discouraging. Every time you take one step toward the future, an old bill or small emergency drags you 2 steps back. It's not because your dreams are wrong, it's because your foundation is missing. So before we talk about investing, side income, or anything that sounds advanced, we start here. Stop money panic with a $500 safety fund. But here's the twist most people miss. A safety fund is not just about a number in an account. It's about teaching your brain that you are not one bill away from disaster anymore. The moment you cross $200, $300, $400, your nervous system starts to relax. You'll still get annoyed when a bill comes in. You'll still sigh when the car makes a strange noise. But your body no longer reacts like you're hanging off a cliff by your fingertips. Let's turn that into 3 simple rules you can live with. Rule 1. Make the buffer automatic, small, and boring. The goal is not to be a hero. The goal is to be consistent. When you say, "I'll save whatever is left at the end of the month," you already know how that goes. There is never anything left. But if you move $20 every Friday, that's about $80 a month. In 6 months, that's $480. In a year, it's $960. On $1,800 or $2,300 income, that's real protection. The benefit is that your buffer grows even when your willpower is tired. You don't wait to feel motivated. You decide once and let the system do the work. Imagine Daniel. He earns $2,100 a month and automates $25 a week into his safety account. That's $100 a month. Some months, he throws in an extra $30 when he skips eating out. After 8 months, he looks and sees $870. He never felt rich. He never felt like he was saving a lot. But when his laptop dies and a replacement costs $400, he doesn't panic swipe his credit card. He moves the money from the buffer and then quietly rebuilds it. Rule 2. Protect the buffer with clear rules about what counts as an emergency. If you treat the buffer like a snack jar, it will always be empty when life hits hard. You want to know that when a real problem shows up, a necessary car repair, a medical bill, a rent gap, you have something to fall back on. So define it for yourself. An emergency is necessary, urgent, and unexpected. New shoes for fun? No. A busted tire on the only car you use to get to work? Yes. Lena earns $1,900 a month and reaches $400 in her buffer. A friend invites her on a weekend trip for $250. It's tempting. Technically, she could cover it from the buffer, but she tests it. Necessary? No. Urgent? No. Unexpected? Not really. So she says, "Not this time. I'm finally building something that keeps me safe." She feels a bit left out now, but 4 weeks later, her child needs an unexpected $180 dental visit. She pays from the buffer and still has room left. Which moment do you think feels better in her body? Rule 3. When you use the buffer, your only job is to refill it. No guilt, no drama. Think of it like a shock absorber in a car. Its entire purpose is to compress when the road is rough and then come back up. If you spend months building $500 and then tell yourself you failed the moment you use $250 of it, you'll secretly avoid rebuilding it. You'll feel like the money doesn't belong to you. Instead, see that withdrawal as proof the system works. Back to Jamal. His $500 buffer takes a hit when his phone screen cracks and the repair costs $210. His balance drops to $290. Old Jamal would say, "See, I can never hold on to savings," and give up. New Jamal says this is exactly what it was for and gently increases his weekly transfer from $25 to $30 for the next couple of months. In about 10 weeks, he's back near $500. And he has a new story in his head. Money goes out when needed, and it comes back. I have a question for you, and if you want, you can answer it in the comments. If you had a $500 safety fund right now, what is the first stressful bill in your life that suddenly wouldn't feel like an emergency anymore? Let's go back to that opening moment. Late at night, $43 in the account. Final notice, $118 due. Here's a simple weekly ritual that quietly changes that feeling. Once a week, choose a moment you can actually keep. Sunday morning, Wednesday night, whenever it's calm for you. Open your banking app. Check 3 numbers, your main balance, your safety fund balance, and the bills due before your next paycheck. Then ask yourself one question. What can I move, even if it's just $10, to grow or refill my safety fund? That's it. 1 minute. No complicated spreadsheets, no 12-category budget. Over time, that tiny check-in teaches your brain that you're not ignoring your money anymore. You're paying attention, you're steering. The interesting thing is, once you stop money panic with a $500 safety fund, a lot of other money advice finally starts to work. Budgets make more sense because you're not in crisis mode. Paying down debt feels possible because one surprise doesn't push you straight back onto the card. Even investing becomes less scary because you know a small dip in the market won't stop you buying groceries. You don't have to be good with money to start this. You don't need a big promotion first, and you definitely don't have to fix everything in your financial life this month. You just need to build that first little bridge over the hole at your feet. $10 at a time, $20 at a time. Boring, automatic, and protective. If this gave you a bit more calm and a clear next step, feel free to like the video and subscribe if you want more quiet, realistic money guidance. And when this ends, choose one more video that looks helpful and let it keep you company while you take that first small step. This is Wealth Mentor Pro. Thanks for spending this time with me.